Hello everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to another Broadway Gymnastics online lesson. Today's lesson is going to be a little different because we're going to talk all about form. So taking those skills that we've been working super hard on and really cleaning them up and making them done to the best of our abilities. So as always, give yourself a little bit of room, grab a bottle of water if you need it, make sure you're in a safe area, and we're going to get started right away. So we have a nice 10-minute circuit today that's going to focus solely on form. So I'm going to try to talk a little bit about the skills we've been doing and how you can make them even better to prepare for the next step. So we're going to get started right away with our heel raises. So I'm going to hit the timer. And then now, what I want you guys to think about, instead of just doing your regular heel raises like this, we're really going to focus on getting the chin super tall, the chest up really high, and going to a nice high releve and holding. So taking your time, focusing on the form. All right, up next we have kicks with our right foot. So just standing in place, arms in T, we're gonna do kicks. And if you'll notice, I'm not kicking super high, but I'm focusing on a pointed toe, a straight leg, and keeping my upper body centered. So not dropping forward or leaning backwards. We're gonna do the same thing now with our left. So don't think about kicking super high, focus on that chin position, squeezing the core, and staying as stable as possible. All right, next up we have our releve hold. So we're just gonna go up to our toes, squeeze the core and focus on your balance. Now remember, balance is super, super important for everything that we're gonna do. So really squeeze the core and focus. All right, good. Getting into a little stretch. We're just gonna do some twists. Make sure our back is feeling nice and ready to go. Remember, if you wanna add the kick, you can always add the kick. Just opposite arms, opposite legs. All right, doing sweeps now. So sweeping back and throwing your hands up as far as you can. Sweep all the way through your legs and throw those arms up, nice and tall. All right, next on our list, we're gonna do straddle, going to the right. So again, for the straddle position, our toes are facing forward, our legs are nice and straight, and we're just gonna reach and hold. Good, and switching other sides. Now again, if you're holding and you don't feel a whole lot, you can probably reach a little bit further. The further you get, the more you're really gonna feel the stretch. Just make your legs feel nice and loose. All right, next up we have our pike. So feet are together and we're reaching down. Now again, it's great if you can touch the ground, but we don't wanna have bent knees. So nice and straight, reach as far as you can or behind your legs and pull. Alrighty, up next we have our right arm lunge. So we're gonna lunge forward and pull the right arm. So focusing on form, my back knee is not touching the ground. I'm really pulling that arm all the way across to get a nice good stretch, and we're hitting both muscle groups. Switching to our left side. You'll notice too, I'm trying to keep my chin up nice and tall, facing forward. It helps with my balance. When I do that lunge, I'm not getting wobbly and on the side. All right, we're almost there. All right, our next one is going to be pumps to the right side. So hands on our hips, and I'm just pumping my leg. Nice and straight and a pointed toe. It's targeting a different muscle group than those kicks forward, but still allows us to focus on our form. So we're gonna go other leg, oops. We're gonna go pointed toe, nice and tall. So again, I got a little wobbly there because I wasn't paying attention to my upper body. So from your hips up, we really wanna squeeze. Keep the chin up tall and face forward. All right, next we have our neck roll. We're just gonna roll our head out, left, back, right, into the front. It's another really important one. Got about 3 seconds left. And stretching our wrists. So remember, towards your body and away from your body. Anything like a handstand or a cartwheel puts a lot of weight on your wrists, so you wanna make sure they're nice and stretched out and ready to hold yourself up. All right, almost there. All right, so we're gonna get into a little rest now. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our skills. So every skill that we do, today we're gonna be focusing on the form. So not necessarily going as big as we can, but focusing on making it the best it can be. So the first one up is gonna be leaps. So I'm gonna go nice and small. My arms are in T. I'm gonna go step low, leap up, finish. So we want pointed toes, we want straight legs, and it's just like you're kicking a soccer ball, lifting off the ground and landing on that good foot. So really just focus. They don't need to be huge leaps, just step, leap. Try and keep your chest up nice and tall, everything is centered, we're squeezing our muscles. One more step, leap. And when you land, you don't want to drop too far forward. So we're going to get into our wolf jumps now. Now wolf jumps, the big one is going to be our knees. So we want to really squeeze those knees together. If there's any separation, all the form is lost. So I'm going to swing back into that eagle position. So my knees are bent, arms are back, my chin is up tall, and then we're just going to throw it forward into our wolf jump. Good. And remember, landing as soft as you can on every jump. So my arms are forward, back, wolf. Good. All right. Our next one is a releve walk. Now, I know this one seems pretty simple, arms up tall, on your tippy toes and go. But there's a couple of ways we can get lost in form. Everything should be nice and straight like a pencil. So you start there, squeeze the arms in, and take little steps. Your chin position should be up nice and tall. You want to take your belly and push it in so that we're nice and straight. Same thing back. All right, so getting into our kick walks, we've already done our stationary kicks. Now we're walking across. So step, kick, my foot is in the front. So I can go right into another step, kick. So essentially it goes all the way. And then here, let's also practice those backwards walks. So arms are in T, step, lift to crown, and kick in the back. Step, crown, to the back. One more, we'll go step, crown. All right, now we're gonna go into our turns. So we're gonna start with a prep for turn. Good foot is in front. My good arm is gonna make that basket, that arm out to the side. We're gonna pull everything up super tall, passe, step, finish. So we'll hit one more, prep for turn, pull it up, step, finish. Now remember, here you can choose a half turn or a full turn, but all that's gonna happen as we pull up tall, that knee is gonna push us outside and we're gonna do a turn. So we got our form good for there for those turns. Now we're gonna go arabesque to lever. What we're gonna do, step in front, arms are in T, so we're gonna lift, we're gonna hold, into the lever, arms come in, squeeze, step, finish, and just like that. So remember, our lever has the arms, our arabesque does not. All right, looks like we have handstands next. Remember, this is a big one. We do this one a lot, but there's a lot of different ways to focus on your form. So we have that lunge lever, that same thing we just did. We're lunging, we're levering in. Now we're gonna kick up, make sure we squeeze our ears covered with our arms, try and hold straight before stepping and finishing. Good, so that's really simple and that I tend to forget, but we wanna make sure that your head is in. If you can see your ears, that means your head is poking out just a little bit too far. All right, so next on the list is our cartwheels. So we got that same lunge and lever. But remember, on the lever, we're gonna be turning sideways so we can kick into our cartwheel. So lunge, lever. And remember, press that back foot in. Now notice, we finish in the same position that we start, but always facing the opposite way. So if I'm facing this way, when my cartwheel's done, I should be facing the place that I started. Still with my arms into my ears and in that strong lunge. Super, super important. All right, we have a quick little rest. It's a 20-second rest. So catch your breath, get a quick sip of water, and then we're gonna do some of our strength exercises. So remember, form is important on strength just as well as it is for your skills. So we really wanna make sure we're doing everything right. So starting off, we're gonna have our regular push-ups. So we're gonna go down to the ground, our arms are wide, our back is completely straight, and we're gonna lever low and up. So we don't wanna be here, we don't wanna be here. A nice flat back, all the way down, and push up. We got time for one more. Good. And into our toe tappers. So here again, really focusing on straight legs. I don't want to tap my toes like this, because then it's not using my core as much. If I have my straight legs, my toes are pointed and arms are up, and I'm going to go reach for my feet. All the way up and all the way down, so that we're really targeting that core. Good. All right. Our next one is going to be our squats. Now again, this is a super important one, because we don't want to squat like this. We don't want to squat pushing our hips too far in front. We want to make sure they're about shoulder width apart, going all the way down, all the way up. Keeping your chest still, not moving, all the way down, all the way up. All right, our skater hops. Now this is our cardio. So we're going side to side. Now, we want to make sure that that foot goes all the way back, and we have the big arm circle. So we're going to arm circle across, across. Really focus on those arms going big, and that lunge, making sure you feel it in both legs there. All right, going into our burpees. Remember for burpees, you want to jump nice and tall and drop right away. So it's not jump and down, because then you're losing all the cardio. We want to go jump, down, and back. So it's nice, one fluid motion. Up, down, and back. Alrighty. Great job with that, guys. Remember that form is important on our skills, but it's also super, super important when stretching or doing any sort of strength training. The reason being is because if your form is off, you're not going to be targeting those muscles as effectively as we want to. And building up our muscle and building up our strength is what's going to help ultimately make those skills better. The same goes with flexibility and stretching. If you're not stretching in the correct form, you're not going to see much improvements in your flexibility, and that includes your splits. So I know you guys are capable, and whatever you're doing, really focus on that form and make sure that you're doing every skill to the best of your ability. Thank you guys so much for tuning in yet again to another lesson. We are so excited to see you guys back in the gym as soon as possible. But for now, we'll see you guys in the next one.